And we're live. Dominic Box, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing phenomenal, Dave. I want to thank you for having me. What's up, everybody?
What's
Marketplace
going?
Magic is ready to go.
Let's do this thing, Marketplace Magic. So in the comments section, you'll see in the webinar, say hi and want to hear where you're from. Give a shout out to your city, give a shout out to your town. We want to hear where you're from. This is going to be an awesome 1 hour session where Dom runs us through Marketplace Magic. I'm super excited for it, Dom.
Man, I'm stoked. So yeah, like Dave said, if you're here, let us know. I'm here late at the dealership, but I'm here for you guys. I want to teach you the easiest way that I've found to sell cars without doing a whole lot of work. So those of you that are here, you're about to get an awesome lesson in Marketplace Magic that you won't get anywhere else.
Fantastic. So, Dom, we're going to get stuck straight into it because I know everybody's time's precious. I can see more than 50 people dropping in, which is fantastic.
Awesome.
For you to be on the live call with us, building up. St. Louis in the house. Of course they are.
314, what's up?
Come on, man. But Naples, Florida's in the house.
Catlin, Mike Salazar, Ryan Smith. Rhino, what's up, buddy?
Let's do this thing. Okay, so let's get stuck in. So tonight, the agenda for tonight is three basic things, is to run you through a bit of an overview of Facebook Marketplace, how it works, and then get really stuck into the three secrets that Dom's used in order to sell 20 plus cars a month. All of his inventory, all of his sales have been coming from Marketplace. So he's going to run you through the three secrets. And then we're going to talk to you about some next steps about how you can make sure that you can guarantee your success, not just leave it up to chance. So we're going to get stuck in. And I want to flick to you, Dom, and talk about Facebook Marketplace as an overview. What is it? How does it work? And how can we utilize it to sell cars?
All right, so what Facebook Marketplace is, if everybody that's got their phone or mobile device, if you'll open up the Facebook app and scroll down or look down at the middle of your screen, you're gonna have that little house symbol. That is your Marketplace screen or the Marketplace button. When you click that, you're gonna be taken to Facebook Marketplace. And what that is Facebook's version of kind of like a free online classified system. Like you remember in a newspaper, you'd have different ads for things. Well, that's what Facebook has done for free for its users. So you've got vehicles posted on there, you've got shoes, jewelry, food, all different kinds of things. But the main thing that I want to stress to people is Facebook Marketplace is something that, one, is already built in to your Facebook app. You don't have to download anything separate. You don't have to register your profile as you don't have to have a business page. You don't have to list yourself as a dealer. All you have to do is have the Facebook app right on your phone. You can use it on your desktop or PC, and you're going to get started straight away interacting and selling locally with your neighbors. And it's really an ingenious way to post and advertise for free. And it's a way that I've managed to now generate 100% of my monthly sales directly from Facebook Marketplace, and it does not cost me a dime. So that's a little bit, there is, the whole topic tonight is Facebook Marketplace, but a lot of people are familiar with Facebook groups. And that's something that I do want to differentiate. There is a difference between Facebook Marketplace and Facebook groups. You can use them together, but they are separate entities. So Facebook Marketplace, again, it's Facebook's version of an online classified ad site where you are essentially selling in a location-based structure.
It's fantastic. So you can access it from any device, but you said, Dom, it is an app. Is that right?
So I've got the Facebook app on my phone, and then there's just a little widget, I guess is the right word, down there at the bottom in the middle of your screen. You'll click that, and it's going to pop up and show on the top screen. It's going to say your items, saved items, daily deals, et cetera, et cetera. And then right below that is going to be a tab that says, what are you selling? Give me just 1 second, guys.
So basically, what Dom's saying is that you don't have to at all use any other apps or anything like that. You can just, as long as you've got Facebook, you can use it. Is that right, Dom?
Absolutely. And the brilliant thing is I've built my entire business and everything that I do from my phone, but this is a seamless platform that you're able to post stuff on your desktop, your PC, your iPad, and whatever mobile device you've got. If you can access Facebook, you can access the marketplace and start making money tomorrow, which is the whole goal, right?
Fantastic. All right. So you've got 3 secrets for us. We get a bit of a understanding. Many of you put in the comment section, if you're already, just say yes. If you're already on Facebook Marketplace, you've given it a go. And that's why you're here today, because you're looking to take it to the next level. Many of us have tried. We're getting spam and all that sort of stuff. And so Dom's got 3 things to mention as far as secrets is concerned.
I do. I've got 3 tips that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. I've actually got a 5-pronged approach that I use when I'm posting to Facebook Marketplace. So tonight, like Dave said, I'm going to be talking about the pictures, the posts, and the phrases that you can use to get started immediately selling cars on social media. There's a little bit more of an expanded form of this that I'll be sharing in the Sales Hustlers Inner Circle Mastermind, where I go over the topics I call transformation and the most common objectives. But we're going to get in right now to pictures. I've made it secret number 1 because it is the most important aspect of your marketplace post, and it's going to really differentiate or separate you from having a post that generates a ton of leads or a post that just gets lost in the shuffle. So,
and Dom, I just wanted to really make mention to everybody who's on the call live right now. Make sure you ask your questions, but Dom and I are going to answer your questions at the end. So stick around till the end, just so we stay on track. We want to give you as much content in the hour as possible. So ask your questions along the way, and then we'll go to them at the very end.
Absolutely. Okay. So my first bit of advice regarding your pictures is we don't want to think like car salesmen, right? We want to think like our clients. Good photos equal good leads, which equal good results. So if we're thinking like a client, we really want to focus on what does the client want to see? How do they envision their new Jeep Renegade, their Jeep Wrangler? Is it a standard stock overview photo where you see the building behind you and doesn't really focus on the vehicle? No, absolutely not. If we're thinking like a client, we're imagining that Jeep Renegade there running down the road, or heading to the beach for spring break. You can see on this picture that we've got right here, that Dave's got up on the screen there in the middle, we've got a pretty standard. If any of you guys are familiar with Marketplace, you're going to recognize those photos. They're from far away. There's the big tree in the background. We don't have the focus on the vehicle that we're trying to sell. And if you look up there in the top right, again, I'll reference that Renegade. Actually, that whole row right there. What you can see is I have actually gone in and I've done what I call follow the lines of the vehicle. I'm getting an up close, tight shot that, as Dave and I've kind of talked about before, it leaves a little something to be desired. You're seeing the cool angles. The cars look, to me, really sexy. I try to think when I'm taking pictures of my cars, what would this car look like in a commercial as it's zooming down the road, or what's something that's going to suck that client in. And I found that people really like these pictures that show just a little bit of the car, just enough to draw them in, but something that, again, it leaves a little something to be desired. We're going to want to ultimately, guys, eliminate the headroom in the vehicles. And what that is, okay, Dave's got a perfect slide up for you. The vehicle on the left is mine. The vehicle on the right is another one that I found on Marketplace. So the vehicle on the right, it's a Wrangler. Good picture, really, but there's too much other stuff going on. We see that truck over there to the right. We see the building above it. We see the gross street, the dirty parking lot. And it's, a cool Jeep, but it's not a cool picture. It's not something that's going to make me stop and say, oh, wow, I want to read more about that. If you go over to my vehicle there on the left, you're going to see I've taken a really tight side angle shot. It's, also a very interesting looking Jeep, but it's from a different perspective, right? It's kind of like the client's walking up to it for the first time. They're about to open the door, and who knows? It's a Jeep Wrangler. Where are they going to go? Doesn't matter, but they're going to click on that picture and not the other one. I guarantee it. So another thing when it comes to taking pictures of your vehicles, like I said, you want to see the car differently, right? Where is your client going to be using this car? If it's a Jeep Wrangler, I'm a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram guy, so I'm going to reference Jeep a lot. But if you've got access to a Jeep Wrangler and that's what you're wanting to sell, take it off to the the service drive. If you've got some gravel back there, go off the lot and try to get, a different, you don't have to show all the other cars in the background, but if you can think like your client and try to envision where your client will be using it and then adapt that into your pictures. Say you've got a big GMC Denali or a Yukon or something, go downtown and take some pictures with, some buildings in the background at the street corner. But really, guys, you want to, again, imagine where your client's going to be using that car and then adapt your pictures accordingly. Again,
Meg mentioned about the I know it's something that we brought up the other night.
What's that?
The filters or watermarks.
Sure.
You made mention of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, when you're posting your pictures to Marketplace, one of the things that I've learned is extremely, extremely important is do not put stock filters from your phone's photo editor, and do not put a watermark on there. Occasionally you'll see some posts on Marketplace that do have those different things, but eventually if you do that enough, Facebook is going to shadow ban your post or ultimately lock you out of Marketplace for a little while. And that's such a momentum killer. So again, if you've got to add filters to your photos to make them look better, you need to be taking different photos. So just to keep this quick and brief, no filters and no watermarks.
It's a really good point. So pictures are the key. Dom, could you just turn your speaker down a little bit, because I can hear it sort of reverbing back my microphone. But so pictures are the key. Right? It's the number one thing that if you can master, is this right, Dom? If you can master pictures, you're gonna hold yourself with so much more potential, because it's the things they say, picture paints 1,000 words. It grabs people's attention, and that's gonna be what stands you out from the pack.
Absolutely. And real quick before we move on to posts, I recommend people do not overload your posts with pictures. I use 3 specific pictures. I use a tight side angle shot. I use a picture of any badging, and I get a picture of the interior from the back seat, focusing on the entertainment center. So
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Moving on to posts, point number 2. There are 3 different ways that you want to share your posts with your potential clients. When we're posting to Marketplace, I want you guys, when you're starting out, don't feel limited to this, but when, typically what I'm doing now is I'm posting 3 different times a day, right? But when you're getting started, don't be afraid to just run out there and get crazy and be posting 10, 15 times a day. A lot of people get really worried about overloading Facebook Marketplace or flooding the market, and I promise you guys that cannot and absolutely will not happen. There's enough people out there, and once they start seeing you doing it as well, that your stuff is not going to get lost in the shuffle, but it's definitely not going to overload anybody. So we're posting 3 times a day. I want you to go out to your lot and post one of every different model that you sell, and one picture of, or one post for every trim level that you have. So I'll take the Jeep Renegade, for example. We've got the Renegade Sport, we've got the Renegade Altitude, Latitude, Trailhawk, Desert Hawk, and Limited. So that's going to be 5 or 6 different posts right there. You're going to want to do the same thing for, again, every vehicle that you have. And here's where the real moneymaker is. If you have access to pre-owned inventory, I want you to post every single pre-owned vehicle under $15,000. This is what ultimately made me realize that, hey, I can make a whole lot of money without doing a whole lot of work just by posting pre-owned inventory, because these are the cars that you're going to be able to get payments under $300 a month, sometimes, $250 or even lower. So 3 times a day, one of every model and trim that you have in every pre-owned vehicle under $15,000. Now, that is for Facebook Marketplace. Facebook groups, what you guys may be a little bit more familiar with. I want you guys to join your local buy, sell, and vehicle trading groups. If you say you live in St. Louis, Missouri, Google or go to Facebook, type in the search bar, St. Louis buy and sell, or St. Louis vehicle auction. Different terms like that. A lot of you guys are probably already in some of those groups, and it's a really, really vital and essential part of the Marketplace magic that you get yourself in these groups. So when you're posting to Marketplace, one of the last steps is going to have an option that says share to other places. You can share it to your personal profile, and then up to 10 other groups. And that's why you're going to want to already be a member of these groups, because then, Dave, I don't know if you've got a picture of the slide that I showed you. It's a really easy click, and you'll share instantly to up to 10 groups. So do you have a
yeah, no, I don't have it. Sorry, mate.
Okay, not a problem. So again, when you're posting to the marketplace, one of the last steps is the option to share to 10 groups. Be sure to do that. Those posts are, for me, not something that has generated a lot of direct sales, but they act as rolling advertisements that you don't ever have to take down. You get a lot of people that are going to see the vehicles that you have, find out how to get in touch with you, and then ultimately do that.
Now, Dom, I want to ask you a question on Facebook groups, because it's been something that you got stuck on when you first started Marketplace. And I know other people that start out is they get thrown into Facebook jail very quickly by spamming people's Facebook groups.
Absolutely. So Facebook jail is a terrible place to be. I know while I was going through the Inner Circle program, I actually got locked up for like 3 weeks at one point. And one of the ways that I found to kind of get around that is to, if you're going to be sharing to groups while posting to Marketplace, be sure that you're actually active in those groups, even if that means just occasionally going in and leaving a comment, liking other people's posts. But the most important way to stay out of Facebook jail is once you post something to a group, if you sell that vehicle or you take it off Marketplace, it does not automatically come out of groups. So you need to go in there and manually delete those posts from the groups.
So is it just because you're posting stuff that doesn't exist anymore, or is it more about the point that, you know, you're not engaging, do you think? You know, from your experience, you've been thrown into jail, and that means you can, just to clarify what Facebook jail is, it means that you can post, like, for example, on your profile, you may either get blocked from that group, alternatively blocked from all groups, and even from Messenger chat.
Really, I think the reason why they're putting people in Facebook jail, as they call it, or locking the accounts, because it comes up as spam. If they see you posting a lot of the same exact things without interacting with people in the groups, they're going to think you're a bot, or, you know, it's just not worth the risk, because like I said, it's an absolute momentum killer. And if you're somebody that's working for an extra bonus or trying to get to the top of the leaderboard, you cannot afford to lose. You know, once Marketplace Magic gets going for you, you can't afford to lose that momentum.
This is why it's so important to obviously follow the steps that Dom's talking about today, and also in our Inner Circle, he's going to take it to the next level with a couple of masterminds on Facebook Marketplace. But it's so important to get the steps right, because, you know, for me, Dom, I just want to jump in there and like post everything and go crazy. You know, like if I'm going to do something, I go all in. I know you do as well, right? And then all of a sudden,
and
you know, 3 months later, you haven't got anything from it. Alternatively, you've been thrown in Facebook jail for 3 weeks, and you literally can't do anything.
It's like you're an absolute ghost. I noticed my numbers just plummeted when I was in Facebook jail, and it's once your business becomes really not reliant, but really building around social media sales, you just need to be smart. So I don't expect everybody to make it through the serious push into Marketplace without encountering a couple of different challenges. But the main thing is listen to what we're teaching and sharing here, and then just adapt and overcome. Facebook Marketplace and my strategy is something that's constantly evolving. But you know, with practice, hopefully comes less challenges.
And I want to go back. Before we go to the personal profile stuff, I want to go back a second. Just clarify with the audience, how many cars did you sell from Facebook Marketplace last month?
So last month I sold 20 vehicles directly from Facebook Marketplace.
Wow.
That put me, and that's actually, you know, I had 18 from Facebook Marketplace, and 2 referrals. But once you get posting on Facebook Marketplace, once, you know, it may not work, you know, right immediately, may not be inundated with leads, but I promise you, if after 2 or 3 days of posting to Facebook Marketplace, you're going to have more leads than you know what to do with. I could show you my unread message count on Facebook, and it's truly probably like 120, 130, just because you're generating 20, 30, 40 leads from every post. And it does not matter if you're in, you know, a big city like New York, or if you're in a small podunk town in Kansas. Everybody has Facebook, and everybody has access to the marketplace. So Don't.
You said something, Dom. You said something really profound to me when we were chatting the other day. You said based on the blueprint. We always talk about in the sales hustlers, in the inner circle, in marketplace magic, about having a blueprint that you follow. You don't just go off course and just try everything. You actually follow the blueprint. And you said to me that based on the blueprint that you have now mastered, there's no reason why you couldn't double your sales this next month.
Absolutely. Like I said, I did better than I'd done before, but I know that I can do better. And as I tighten things up, one of the things that I really that I've been amazed by is just how quickly you can get these deals done. Because it's not like, gone are the days of the 5 and 6 hour car deal. When you have posts on Facebook Marketplace and somebody's saying, hey, this is the vehicle I want, and you can get out so much information and so much stuff done so quickly, that I honestly, I know that if I were to get my pictures and get my schedule as tight as I'm making it right now, you could literally have just appointments set all day and be turning out, Ali Rita or Frank Trinity numbers, no problem.
Fantastic. Well, aren't you glad you joined in? Just give us a shout out, say, glad I joined in the comment section, because I tell you what, I know we've done this webinar a couple of times, but Dom's even perfected the webinar. Even, the blueprint of the webinar is working better, and he's throwing some serious gold. Dom, talk to us about your personal profile. I think I got the wrong pick up there, but talk to us about what you should be posting and what you shouldn't be posting on your personal profile.
Absolutely. So again, like I talked about, when you're posting to Facebook Marketplace, the first option to post to other places is going to be your personal profile. Now, again, this is just my opinion. This is the way I do things. I don't share everything that I post to Marketplace to my personal profile. Trust me, my friends know that I sell cars because I'm Dom Does Cars. But there are certain vehicles that I am going to share to my personal page or my business profile. And those are any really crazy or unique color patterns, anything, one of a kind, like a Dodge Demon, a Trackhawk, things like that. But ultimately, the stuff that you want to be sharing to your personal page and your business page are things that you can supplement. That means for me, if I'm going to share something to my personal page, I'm also going to have a walk around video for it, or I'm going to have, a serious photo set, a ton of, customer testimonials of that video. Ultimately, because I sell cars, it's what I do and I do very well, but I do have a life outside of that. And I want my friends to know what I do and be excited about it, but I don't want to spam everybody, because they're going to see your stuff in Facebook Marketplace. They're going to see your stuff in the groups. And personally, I don't want to just slam my personal page with it. I use my personal and my business page for what I call brands for me. And that's something that I'm going to get into in the Inner Circle Mastermind. But for me, I'm using my personal page to really grow my business and build my brand, not just throw up an ad somewhere again. And again, brand formation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, it's so important that you're using this as part of your blueprint. You're using this as part of your strategy. There's been a lot of people having, sending me messages, and I know sending you messages, and sort of hoping for the magic bullet, with Facebook Marketplace. They've never sold a car ever, or ever done even a video before on social media. And, they're expecting this to really just blow their business up. And while it can, it has to be part of the strategy.
Right. And that's the big thing is it's really, Facebook Marketplace is a great way to generate business and get money. But if you're somebody that wants to have some real longevity and make this your career, you have to build a brand. And part of that brand formation process is getting customer testimonials and doing things a little bit differently, which again, I would love to talk about tonight, but I'm going to have to save it for the Inner Circle. There's simply just not enough time to do all of that tonight. But we're moving on to
secret number 3.
Secret number 3, the phrases. Pictures are obviously the most important aspect to your Facebook Marketplace posts. I would say honestly, number 2 is going to be the phrases that you're going to use. And this is what I've got 15, 20 guys at my dealership, if not more, that are all posting to Facebook Marketplace, but for whatever reason, I'm the only one that has leads every day, appointments every day, and is selling at such an incredible percentage of directly social media related sales. So the first and most important step regarding the phrases, get the word credit app out of your mind. If you're somebody whose dealership has an online credit app, use that to your advantage. Don't wait for your BDC to send people a credit app. And what we're going to call it is a qualification form. Why? Because it disarms your clients. If your customers hear, I'm going to send you a credit app, for whatever reason, it just kind of gives them the heebie-jeebies. And if you use the word qualification form, it doesn't sound so intense. And it sounds like, what are we going to need to do to qualify for this vehicle? And as you can see here, here's a way that you can shoot it out. It's Kim. Here's the link to the qualification form. On the section regarding income, be sure to include your total monthly pre-tax income with all bonuses, overtime, and commissions included. Sound good? Boom, hit them with the app. So that is extremely important. Next, we're going to want to be forward speaking. When your customers reach out to you, it's going to be something like, there we go. Hey, I'm interested in this item. Of course he is. That's why he's messaging you. Forward speaking means we're already talking about the vehicle that your client's messaging you about as if it's already theirs. So, hey, Colton, thanks for reaching out about your new Renegade. What are you currently driving? As we constantly reaffirm that the new vehicle that the customer is messaging you about is already theirs, it's kind of like seeing the car differently. They're going to associate it subconsciously as theirs, and it's almost like a trial close, really. But another big thing that customers are going to say to you is, I'm interested in this item, and is this item available? Another really common thing, is this item available? Your word track here is going to be, hey, Mr. Customer, it sure is. And as you can imagine, it's gotten a ton of attention. What are you currently driving? And the reason why we're going to ask, or the reason why we're going to say, yeah, it is. And as you can imagine, it's gotten a ton of attention, is it's going to build a sense of urgency with the customers. And then we're immediately hitting them with the, what are you currently driving? And more often than not, your clients are going to tell you, I'm driving this old beat down junker that I owe way, way too much on. Or they're going to say, hey, I don't have anything. And then you're going to know, hey, how motivated are these people to get a car? Either they already hate their car, or two, they don't have a car and they need one, or three, sometimes you'll find out that, hey, maybe these people are just a little bit too buried in their Chevy Cruze, and you can save yourselves both a lot of time. So being forward speaking is absolutely essential. And throughout this entire process, while you're talking to your customers, you do not want to get lost in these long-winded, crazy conversations about every little detail regarding the vehicle. Typically, you want to acknowledge your customers' questions, whatever it is. Is the item available? Yada, yada, yada. You always acknowledge it, but you want to be redirecting to your ultimate goal, which is always to get a phone number so you can get your customers into the CRM and to set an appointment so you can get them in the door. And then three, if your dealership has it or allows it, get that credit app out. So when they get to the dealership, you're ready to go. You can test drive, you can demo the vehicle, sign some paperwork, and then they're out the door and you're on your way to your next sale. And what I call the under 2 hour close, I had an awesome example today. I posted a picture of a Jeep Renegade. I had a lady by the name of Kim reach out to me and got her phone number, got a credit app, and she was here and driving away in her new vehicle less than 2 hours after my initial Facebook post.
That's amazing, Dom. Look, you made mention of this when we were chatting the other day about how important it is to not get lost in the conversation. And as salespeople, we think that we've been taught we have to build rapport. And so it's important to build rapport, but you're saying don't get lost in that, because this is a very different lead to somebody that walks into your dealership.
Absolutely. And I don't want people to think that I don't build rapport. I just build rapport differently. If somebody's reaching out to me specifically about a vehicle that I've posted on Facebook Marketplace, I don't care, and probably neither do they, what they had for dinner last night or how, the boys down the road's baseball team is doing. What they want to know is, how the heck can I get in this car? You're the answer, and you better do it quickly, because when, for me, Facebook Marketplace, again, this is a lead generator. This is a closing tool.
And when the customers get there, that's where I'm building the rapport. And they're going to really appreciate how fast, easy, and efficient the whole process is. But it really requires you to do more as a salesman. Facebook Marketplace and getting leads, it's kind of like, the old call logs. You're not going to spend 20 minutes on the phone with somebody. The whole goal is to get them through the door and then get them back out the door in their new car. So build that rapport with them on that test drive, but don't waste time in the conversation, because that's how you're going to, make this a 2, 3, 4-day process where I am turning clients on the daily, at most every 2 days. Because if you're doing this effectively and doing this the right way with the right tools, there's no reason why, you can't turn through clients every single day. And that's the whole goal. And something I'm going to really get into in the Inner Circle Mastermind is, again, the real phrases, the common objections that you're going to have, and again, how to transform your brand to really be suited for social media sales.
It's really good. And so you said, Dom, as far as getting credit apps, and I've heard it a lot in the Sales Hustlers group, and get a lot of messages about it. Okay, I'm getting heaps of inquiry, I'm getting heaps of leads, I'm posting all over the marketplace, but they're all duds. They're all terrible leads. No one's actually buying. It's just they're no good on finance, all this sort of stuff. Going back a second to talk about the whole qualification process. How do you make sure that doesn't happen, and how can you fast track that credit application process?
So typically what I post in my marketplace ads is got a job, got a bank account, get your new Jeep, whatever. And in the conversations that I'm having with people, I'm asking them, hey, are you working full time? Have you ever financed a vehicle before? And if for whatever reason there's any red flags that get thrown up, you're able to address those immediately and save yourself the time of, getting to the dealership and realizing this person works 5 hours a week part-time at, the snow cone shack. But another nice thing that you can do if you have the ability to utilize a credit app is to put that on your website, which is a nice authority amplifier. I'm lucky enough that the Inner Circle got a website put together for me. And so find a way, whatever you can, to get your credit app out as quickly and as many times as possible.
Yeah, it's really good advice. Okay, so I want to show you domdoescars.com, and this is worth showing because this is one of the ways that that Dom uses in order to fast track that process. And so this is really important. Hopefully you can see my screen there in a second. You can see that down, Dom?
Yep.
Excellent.
There we go, domdoescars.com.
You talk us through it.
Yeah, so this is your Facebook is essential, but we need to be developing ways to generate leads while we sleep. And you can't be responding to Facebook all the time. But if you have a website like the one that that I got as a part of the Inner Circle program, I've got right here. Contact me here, book a test drive, and get online pre-approval for financing. So while I'm sleeping, my customers can book a test drive. They can fill out and send a credit app that's going to come directly to where I've designated it to go, and I don't have to do anything. So it's one, it builds authority and makes you look more legit, I guess is the right word, but it also provides ease of access for your clients, because not everybody has Facebook, but you can still sell cars online with very little effort.
Well, it's so important. And look, if I just click this button here, hopefully you can still see it. It'll bring up straight away a credit application, and that can get submitted to Fletcher Auto Group straight in there. And obviously then Dom can go through and contact that person. If I go back to his website, I can then also book a test drive. And so That's a whole automated process. I always use this as an example. If you're going to order Pizza Hut, if you're going to order Domino's Pizza to be delivered to your house, in 2018, are you picking up the phone, or are you going on to the Domino's app? Are you going onto the Pizza Hut app and putting all the details in and not having to speak to anybody until that pizza's actually arrived at your door? And I think it's archaic in many ways that as a salesperson or as dealerships, that we say the only way that you can actually book a test drive is to is to have this backwards and forwards conversation either by phone or email. Why can't we automate the process? And so this is something that we do for all our Inner Circle members, is we create what we call an authority amplifier, which is not just a website that, you know, gets you leads, but helps people understand who you actually are, that you're not just in it just to, you know, ram cars down people's throats,
Right.
but you're in it to actually help them find the right car. I mean, if I scroll down on Dom's website, you've got a link to all his social media. You hear about why we should, you know, choose Dom Does Cars, all of his business details, including a map, and then a little bit about me, happy testimonial videos, all that sort of stuff, which amplifies your authority rather than you just being that person who is posting on Facebook Marketplace.
Right. And I've got to say, the Inner Circle program has been absolutely phenomenal. This webpage, I mean, this looks, I'd put this up against anybody's website. And I came as somebody who just said, hey, here's the logo that I want. Here's some of the colors that I want. And Dave and the team took care of the rest. And I cannot tell you how weird it is almost at first when you wake up and check your Calendly or you check your email and you've got leads or test drives booked by people you've had no contact with. But having that web page has been essential for my professionalism, but ultimately, you know, for my career as well. If you're building and generating leads while you sleep, why can't we all be Ali Reda? And that's my goal.
That's a really good point. I mean, one of the guys in the Inner Circle group made mention of the fact that he woke up to, you know, 4 or 5 nightly. He's literally waking up every morning to 4 or 5 new test drives being booked while he slept, which is just fantastic. So obviously you're going to close a good percentage of that. I want to go to Chris Yancey's question. We're going to hit a couple of questions. Yeah. Brett, we're going to cover the Inner Circle program, give you an opportunity to join for free, because in there you've got the ability to access a live recording of Dom's Marketplace Magic, the next steps. And that's really what this is about, is taking you and coaching you through the process. I believe you need 3 things in order to make this successful. You need the blueprint. And Dom's sort of given you most of that blueprint. He wants to take you to the next level. The second thing that you need is that coaching to make sure that you can ask questions along the way. And Dom is not just as part of the Inner Circle, he is actually now one of our coaches and mentors in there, and can really give you some added advice, because Dom, I mean, your phone blows up every 5 seconds.
Yeah, and yeah, for anybody in here that's watching, I know some of you guys have messaged me, and it's not that I don't want to get back to you guys or get back to everybody, because obviously I'm here right now, but I'm out there selling cars as well. And truly, I'm getting 15, 20, sometimes even more messages from our sales hustlers every single week. But man, if you really want to learn how to sell cars on Facebook Marketplace, there's only so much I can tell you right now. But if you want the absolute blueprint, the plug and play to start generating and selling 15, 20, 25 cars a month, man, really consider the Inner Circle, because I want to be there for everybody. But if you can meet with me on a designated time each week, I can give you so much more than I can in a 20-second Facebook message response.
Yeah, it's really good, man. And the third thing is you need accountability. You need that level of accountability to say, well, we're not just going to give this a go, post it a few times and hope the best, and then sort of give up when it doesn't work for you in the first couple of weeks. You need that accountability to make sure that we're continually driving it and getting the result. Dom's done it. He's continually perfecting it. The thing about Facebook is the algorithms and Facebook app changes all the time. And so it's something that we have to be on top of, to continually find the accountability and that coaching, so that things change. When things change, we're ready to go.
And I've got to give a huge shout out to Dave Benson. I have no idea when Facebook's algorithms are changing, but this guy is up on it. And we got our morning meetings on Thursdays where it's, hey, here's how the algorithms changed. Here's how to avoid it. And man, just having that community and that accountability, especially with industry professionals like Dave and Sean, man, it's the only way to stay up to date and on top of your game. And if you're somebody who's just halfway in, halfway out, maybe it's not for you. But if you're somebody that wants that 25, that 30 cars, that top of the leaderboard, that big bonus every month, the Inner Circle is for you. I promise.
Fantastic. Stephen, we're going to get to your question as well. You definitely wants to chat and share some ideas. But Chris Yancey said, how do you keep the applications that are being filled out from getting randomly assigned to other salespeople within the dealership?
Sure.
Great question.
Yeah. So what I realized was I actually was not one of my dealership's internet managers, which is somebody who was getting all the internet leads filtered through and sent to them. So I was getting a ton. I was getting more credit apps in than anybody in the BDC. So what I did was I went to my GM and I said, hey, is there any way you can create me a PURL or a personal URL for the credit app? And it was real simple. He just attached some different character there at the end. And that way, all the credit apps that come in from my website or that I send out, they're going to be attached to me. But it also, I try to, other than the website, if I'm talking to somebody on Facebook Marketplace, I'm getting their phone number and I'm getting them into the CRM, which is essential. This is all about effort, guys. If you're going to be lazy, it's not going to work. But if you put in just a teeny bit of effort and just a little bit of time, I promise you it's going to blow your mind.